And with that, I welcome you to this lecture. This is about how we can render HDRIs right out of Blender. Let's get straight to the point. We definitely need to place our camera in the right place. That's the start. The camera is in the center of the scene, and that means that the object we'll be placing within the scene, which is to be illuminated, will stand in the exact same place as the camera is right now. Now, we should be very aware of that. This scene is relatively simple to make. I just have a brick texture with only a black and white color, the attachment is set to 0, and I adjusted the row height and width a little bit. Then the whole thing goes through a multiple mode, simply because I wanted it to all be a bit brighter, and this then goes into the emission strength. But now the question is, how do we render an HDRI from all this? Well, we look up here and we have cycles selected. It doesn't work with the other two modes. Now we go after the camera setting, and the type must be changed from perspective to panoramic, and the panorama type should be changed from fisheye to equirectangular. That's a very interesting word. Now we click on that, and with that, in principle, almost everything is done. If we now go into camera view, we can see that's exactly what we want, this panoramic image. Important, however, is to prevent the squash that might happen, so we should ensure in the output properties in the resolution that the X resolution is exactly twice as high as the Y resolution. Now to do this, we simply take the Y value, we copy and paste it into our X value, and then we enter a 2 here, and that's it. And now we gotta check that we actually render an HDR and not a PNG file, so we go down here and we change the format from PNG to Radiance HDR, and then we will change our output path. Now we go to render image, and we wait until the 4096 samples are reached, and then we save the image again, and then we can try it out to see what it looks like in another scene. And that's basically all there is to it. And after you've rendered the whole thing, the workflow is exactly the same, so if you already know how to do all that, you could technically turn off this video if you don't feel like watching it anymore. Now, of course, the great thing about this is that you can set an exposure in Blender and use it over and over again with this very simple technique, and that's why it was very important for me to include this in the course. It just saves you a lot of hassle. Now, if you like this video, if this helps you out, please leave a 5-star review, would be very happy. I definitely have a lot of fun explaining things to people. I also have my own Fiverr account if you want to book one or another hour with me, and you're very welcome to do so, so be sure to check that out. Otherwise, we'll just wait until the picture has landed, try it out in the scene right away, and then we'll see how nice it all looks. And here we are in a new scene. I just downloaded a car from the internet. There's a lot you can find, and there's some really good free models with nice materials you can use. And now we go to the shader editor, we change the object view to world, and then we press Shift A, environment textures, paste the environment texture into the background, and now we choose our HDRI, which we just did, and there we go. We already have the latest exposure right there. And we can now use this exposure in this scene, but also all the other scenes in the future that we want to use this in. Now, if we just want to make some cool sci-fi model showcases, so to speak, we can simply use this HDRI again and again, and I think that's super cool and exactly why we did it. And I hope this little tip has helped you expand your knowledge a bit, and I want to see you again in the next lecture. Later!